Okay, are we live? I'm not sure. Do you think we're live? I think we're live. Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning to my dear friends on Facebook Live. My name is ZoeBaraka, and I am coming to you live on the Dear Daughter page. And this is the To My Younger Self project. This is a project that just goes back in time and talks about just stories and experiences that I have, I guess, learned throughout my many moons on this earth. Good morning, Lynn. It is so good to see you, sis. Thank you for joining me. It is great to see you. So wonderful Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, August 11th, and it is sun shining out. Right? I don't know. I woke up just really excited today, and that definitely is the grace of God. So, yeah. So, I'm going to jump right into the story today. Today's story is very interesting. I am going to be telling you some of the nuggets that I got from my dad. And this one has to do with respect and also the harm in assuming certain things about certain people, especially if you've never met them or never spoken to them, right? So this story happened, I probably was 15, 16 years old. So I was definitely older. And so I knew exactly what was going on. So yeah, listen, if I'm not able to see you, I see there's a couple of people on here already and I'm not able to tell. I apologize and welcome to my younger self. Okay, say hello, say hi, wave, make a comment if you got something from today's story. Do not hesitate to go right there and make a comment. And thank you again for joining me. Going back to the story, so growing up, well, this happened in my father's second house. Let me put it that way. In the city of Accra. Accra is the capital of Ghana, West Africa. And good morning, Laura. Good to see you. Thank you. Come on in. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the story today. All right, going back to the story. So, he had just built his second house. And for those of you who just joined us, I am talking about my dad now, the indefatigable Mr. Acom, right? So he just built his second house. And back then, the trend was that for those who had been lucky enough to build a home or a house by the roadside or by a main road, will always just kind of build an outer structure that served as stores, or I don't know how to call them here, but I'll call them stores. What it meant is that it was another stream of income. So you had your house in the back of the stores or storefront, and people would come in and rent the storefront and they could, do their business there. And so every month you got something from it. So it was, let me tell you, Africans, we knew real estate a long time ago. So that's what, dad had done. He had built a couple of storefronts. It must have been about 6 or 7 different stores in front of the house, and it was right by the roadside. And so people would come in and rent. And my dad never really was at home, let's say that, because he was, traveling for work and stuff like that. So a lot of people may not have really known him. Plus, he's a very quiet man, very unassuming, very simple. It didn't matter who you were, he spoke to you like you were an equal. And he dressed very simply. It didn't matter. So this story happened in the morning, one early morning. These guys, I suppose they had come from America at the time. And so we call them boggers. For those of you who don't know, a bogger from in Ghana means somebody who has traveled and come back home. So the assumption was that they were loaded with money and they carried themselves in a certain way. And dad had this tradition. He would wake up in the morning. I ventured to say he probably still does. Wake up in the morning, feed his chickens and his, other many things that he used to take care of. And, he would just wear a simple t-shirt. There was a big, beautiful tree right in front of the stores. And he would sit there and just watch as life went by, especially because he must have, been traveling, come back home very tired. So this was his downtime, right? So he's just sitting there. He had on slippers. He wasn't dressed to kill because it was morning. Now, these guys came to rent the storefront, and they came with loads of money. Back then, it was the old Ghana cities, and they had them in this big Ghana must go bags. Now, for those of you who are not West African, I'll give you a little history about what Ghana must go is. So Ghana must go is like a mesh bag that most Ghanaians who were repatriated, or it wasn't repatriation really, they were deported to go back from Nigeria to Ghana. This was like in the 80s. I think it was President Show something. I forget his name now, but that's an opportunity for you to Google that and learn a little bit of African history. He had mandated that people who were illegal in Nigeria go back to their countries. Most of the illegal immigrants then in Nigeria were, most of them were West African, a majority of them were Ghanaian. And because this thing happened so fast, it was about religious issues, so people were running and going on trains, and things like that. People didn't have time to buy traveling bags and suitcases, so they just put all their stuff in these mesh bags. It was cheap, it was easy to grab. So, it got the moniker Ghana Must Go. So, these guys came, they had a lot of money in this huge Ghana Must Go bag. They came to the front of the house, did not greet my dad, did not say hello or anything, just went straight and said, Yashushe Fiura, meaning we're looking for the owner of the house. Dad being dad, and they had an attitude about them, just this air of importance. In my mind, they must have thought my dad was a houseboy or the watchman, because back in the day, those who had big houses, you have a wall around it, there's an outer house, there's a watchman, and also there was a houseboy. They must have thought maybe that's who my father was. So he said to them very quietly in his way, oh, he's inside, They didn't say thank you, they didn't say anything to him, and they just moseyed on along, went inside. And that was when they met me. And they asked me, I'm not sure why, but for some reason they actually were nice to me, and they said, "Oh, Abawaya Shashe, if you're meaning we're looking for the owner of the house, young lady." And I'm paraphrasing now. Of course, I go in there and I'm a little confused because I'm like, I think the Ifira is outside, but I'm like, well, let me go get mom. I go inside, get my mom. My mom comes out, and they greet her with this respect and this, oh my God, they treated her like the very ground she walked on was gold, because in their mind she was the owner of the house. And they asked her, they started to talk about it, and my mom was like, can you guys wait? I need to find the real owner of the house, my husband. So she sends me to go get dad. I go outside, find my dad, and he comes in. The look on these guys' faces. It's like, oh, now if you're, oh my God, you're the owner of the house. And they started to, their attitude must have done like a 360. And dad was just not moved. They presented their case, opened this, huge bag filled with money. And, after everything, dad just was like, yeah, it's mine. That's my storefront, and you're not getting it. And I think they must have just been so shocked, because they were like, how can you decide you don't want a lot of money? It's a lot of money. And I think that was when he started to say, when you guys were coming in, you thought I was nothing. So you treated me like nothing. And now I own this property. You are treating me differently. Well, money is not everything, and I do not need to do business with people who have no respect. and who assume just to assume. And that stayed with me till date. And now I know more than anything, it doesn't matter what you have, it doesn't matter who you are. You have to give respect to people. You do not have to assume just because of the way a person is dressed, just because of the way a person carries themselves or speaks, whether they speak eloquently or not. That has nothing to do with the way you treat people. Your attitude says a lot about you. And I am so glad that my dad took that chance, and I don't think he was even trying to educate them. He was just trying to say, I know who I am. And just because you don't think you know who I am does not mean I should falter from who I am. And so that's my message today, as in, just be very, very careful how you treat people. Do not assume anything about anybody just because of the way they carry themselves or how they present themselves at a particular moment. What also stuck with me was the fact that you meet people in glimpses of their lives. You know, if they had come in maybe a week prior to that, they would have probably caught my dad driving out in a uniform, and their respect or their attitude would have changed a little bit. You know, but because they saw him in a simple t-shirt just sitting there in the front of the house, they assumed things about him. Do not assume things about people because you might catch them in a little glimpse of their lives, in a little corner of their lives, and you do not know who they are. Okay? All right, so that's the nugget I got from Dad today, and I thought I would share with you guys. Again, my name is ZoeBaraka. Yes, hi. Oh my God. Hi, Paul. Hi, it's so good to see you. Yes, Monica. I know, right? Actually, to be fair, I got that from Wikipedia a while ago. I don't know why, but yeah. Thank you so much for joining me. It is so great seeing you all, my lovely friends. I will see you again next week. My name is Zoe Baraka. Keep telling stories, keep drawing into yourself, keep learning from people, keep learning from yourself. Most importantly, for the younger viewers, keep learning from your immediate support system, like your mom and your dad and your uncles, those who lived life before you. Okay? All right. My name is Zoe Baraka. It's been fun hanging with you. Thank you. I will see you again next Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m. Bye bye.